All right, 4:34, we'll call the meeting to order. If you could all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. We have a flag.
There's a very small one for the news crew in the back on the pole, so you go that way. It's
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I just thought of something. I bet you Bob's going to get emails because he probably has his town address still on there. Mr. Curran is en route, so to speak. Public comment. Anyone like to speak on anything that's not on the agenda? No? Okay. New committee member and vice chair vacancy. So we have Justin with us now.
Hey everybody, welcome. I think I know you all.
And we also do have have to fill a vice chair.
I'd like to make a motion, if I could.
Go ahead.
I'd like to make the motion of Kathleen Otina for vice chair.
Okay.
Second.
Ready? As I was saying, we need to fill that vacancy due to Mr. LaMattina leaving. So we have a motion for Kathleen Otina and a second. Do we have any other nominations? Mr. McNeil?
I'd like to nominate Don Essen.
Okay, Don Essen. Would anyone like to second that?
I'll second.
Okay. And we have a motion and a second for Mr. Essen. Any other nominations? Okay, seeing none, I will close nominations. And what we'll do is we'll go around the table, so to speak, and where it's two folks, we can just say which your preference is or none at all. We'll start with Mr. McNeil.
Don Essen.
Kathleen.
Okay.
Miss Otina.
Okay. Kevin. All right, myself, I'm going to vote Mr. Essen.
I'm voting for myself.
Beth?
Ms. Otina.
Miss Otina.
Mary Beth?
Don Essen.
Don Essen, but I think it might be moot.
Brandon.
4. Brandon?
No, Kathleen.
Okay. So, at that point, Kathleen, you are now the vice chair.
Thank you. Thank you for trust. I'll show up for every meeting and do my best.
All right. Next order of business, OPM report. Mr. Bates.
Thank you. So in your packets, you have the May 2023 OPM report. We do tend to show a 30-day lag because the June report won't be out till next month, next week, I should say. So on a big scheme of things, we're on budget. We have an $850,000 total budget for feasibility. We have an encumbrance to date of $814,000, just under that. So we're under budget right now. Everything that we had tracked or anticipated to be contracted has been contracted. We're not anticipating any more. So we're in good shape, and I look at this as sort of the home stretch. We've got about 4 months to go to the referendum date, so from an invoicing standpoint, we're on track. So that brings me to one item, though, which is the budget revision request, number 2. I brought this up at previous meetings. So although we have $850,000 and we're under that in terms of encumbrance, the line items that the MSBA had set up and the values associated with those are a little bit off from what's been contracted. Namely, environmental and site. We have an initial budget amount of $34,200, which was always low because the actual services over basic related to those items came in at $92,590. So what we've been doing by way of these budget revision requests is moving money from first that other category, moving those funds into environmental and site to cover the overages, and that didn't quite make it whole, so we had to take some money. We're trying to take some money from the OPM line, which we have a surplus in, down into environmental and site. So this budget revision request number 2 is proposing to move $10,390 from the OPM line item into environmental and site. That's to cover all invoicing and the entirety of the contracted amount for site investigative services. That's traffic studies, that's environmental site analysis, that's geotech exploration, all of those site exploration services that were done during this feasibility phase. That will make that line whole by executing this budget revision request number 2.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion to revise the budget to $10,390 and taking the funds as explained by Mr. Bates.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions?
Just what is the current budget now? It was 34 something, we're adding 10,390.
Yeah, so when this revision request is finalized, it will be $92,590.
Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? Okay, we'll move to a roll call vote. Mr. McNeil?
Yes.
Mrs. Scriven?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Okay, unanimous.
Brandon?
Oh, jeez.
Bring to the dawn.
You have the whole reason for the roll call. And Don? Don Essen? Don, are you there? Okay, so I'm going to assume Mr. Essen is not here at the moment, Mr. Bates?
Okay.
That he can't hear us. So we are still unanimous. Owner's cost estimating consultant.
So also in your packets, and I had said this at the last meeting, so part of our OPM contract is we must provide cost estimating services on behalf of the owner. So we solicited proposals from our go-tos. We don't provide in-house cost estimating services. We solicit help from known professionals in the market and that specialize in MSBA work. We have a short list of those people. You see them listed on the fee proposal analysis that I sent in the packet. A.M. Fogarty was one, Ryder Levitt Bucknell, and Fennessy Consulting. These are all firms we work with on a very regular basis. Again, they're experts in MSBA work.
Can you reference the document you're looking at so I can follow along?
Looks like this, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. And as you see on the comparison analysis, the top listed firm is A.M. Fogarty. And so first what I'll do is I'll explain what I asked for. So there's two phases, right? There's phase 1 and phase 2 of the entirety of this project. Phase 1 being the feasibility study, which we are currently in. As part of that, we must do a schematic design cost estimate. Right now, AI3 is back at their office working very busily on producing schematic design, construction documents, and specifications, on which we will perform a cost estimate. That's going to be done by both their cost estimator, that's PM&C Consultants, and then the one that we bring to the table, which we'll talk about in a minute. So that's the first cost estimate that's required as part of this process. Pending an approval by the town at the end of this year, we would then move into what's called phase 2 of the project. That would entail a contract amendment with the consultants. That would take us from the design development phase of the project all the way through construction and closeout of the project. So that is phase 2. But part of that design process, I'm going to lose it. Part of that design process.
Cancel.
In phase 2, design development through construction documents entails 3 separate cost estimates. So what you see here broken out on the comparison analysis is task 1, that's going to be for schematics. That's coming up next month. Task 2, 3, and 4 for the design development, 60 CD and 90% CDs estimates will take place in the next phase. And where I'm going with this is those tasks 2 through 3 will not be encumbered to the project during this phase. So they will not hit the feasibility budget that I talked about earlier, the $850,000. The 16.5 will hit that, but it will be within the OPM's budget line because they'll be a sub-consultant to us. we're going to contract directly with them. So we think we can fit that within our OPM budget line, so I don't see any issues there. So as you look at the analysis, AM Fogarty came in with the lowest rate, 63,250 in total. So AM Fogarty is quite frankly the best, and we highly recommend them. And given that they've come in at the low end of, well, we received 2 estimates. Fennessy decided not to submit, but we recommend AM Fogarty. They work well with the MNC, who is, again, the designer's cost estimator, so that's our recommendation. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but considering the fee and the quality of their work and the history that we have with them, that's our recommendation.
Any questions for Mr. Bates? Do you need a formal vote from our committee?
Please, yeah.
Okay, so I'd entertain a motion to award the cost estimating to AM Fogarty.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Roll call vote. Josh?
Yes.
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Brandon?
Yes.
Okay, unanimous. That's all set. Public Outreach Subcommittee.
So the last we had talked about this, we had agreed that Rich was going to be speaking, well, was going to be the narrator on the videos, right? That's one thing that we decided at the last meeting. But before doing that, we had also talked about creating a template for these videos, something that we can, because we're going to be doing a series of them, maybe as many as a dozen when it's all said and done. So we're incorporating Collier's marketing department to help create a template and give us some advice on how to develop these videos. From there, we can start producing. And I'm going to show you a sample. This is just in, about an hour ago I got this.
Just to go back
Yeah.
a little bit, Brandon, along with John Galvin, they've spent extensive time here at the school, videoing different areas. The second time was under the direction of Mr. Bates in AI3, so that to make sure we're catching the essence of what we're going to want to be projecting within the videos. We owe them a great debt of thanks, for all their efforts going above and beyond with talents that I know I don't have. So that, that is something I do want to thank those folks for and put that on record, so to speak. Based on that, we were thinking of a way to get Rich the scripts and then see if we could voice over, or does Collier's do a voiceover, etc., and we can see what this looks like. And
I can tell you this video features a voiceover. It was done by presumably somebody in their marketing department.
Okay.
They have access to higher quality microphones, so I think that you'll notice an improvement just in terms of sound quality when you compare it to Mr. Galvin's production. So without further ado, I can try to run this thing. We'll see what we have here.
Despite continued efforts to operate and maintain the existing Whitman Middle School, resolving its non-compliance with current building, energy, structural, electrical, and accessibility codes requires a greater undertaking. More specifically, the building does not meet Massachusetts state building codes for life safety. It lacks the required fire separations and necessary egress requirements, while electrical panels are placed inappropriately within learning areas, making them accessible to students. Additionally, it does not meet the state building code for interior environment. Some examples include classrooms without natural light, ventilation, or air conditioning, and rooms that do not meet the sound transmission class create a noisy learning environment. Further, the building does not meet current energy code, lacking insulation within the roof and walls. This causes condensation buildup that often results in a moist and smelly interior environment. The building also does not meet the standards of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Includes protruding objects, inaccessible exit pathways, non-ADA plumbing, and toilet fixtures in non-compliant doorways. According to estimates from January of 2023, it would cost the town of Whitman $56.8 million just to bring the existing building up to code. This does not include modernization to existing educational spaces or addition of new educational spaces. It also does not provide new instructional technology, needed programs, expanded community resources, or many of the educational and community benefits inherent in a viable solution. However, designing a new building will not only meet but exceed current building and energy codes and comply with accessibility needs. It will also allow for new and modernized educational spaces as well as proper technology and resources for educational and community purposes.
Thoughts?
I like it. I think it's, it's effective. I like the fact that they brought out the problem and did show the solution. The one thing I noticed, and I picked up on it because I'm looking, is you see the total cost of the project for the 9B when they flash it on the screen, as opposed to a reimbursable estimate.
Yeah.
Which makes it a whole heck of a lot closer
Right.
to that 56.75 million.
Right.
I'd like to see us almost stop talking about the high number and only talk about the fact that it's estimated to cost the town of Whitman between, what was it, 77 and 82?
Yeah.
As opposed to saying it's 127.5 with an anticipated reimbursement and blah, 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 and this is what it brings it down to.
Right.
I don't know how everyone else thinks, but sort of to my mindset, give me the bottom line. What's it going to cost after, or at least as good of an estimate as we can give to the public?
Yeah, could you stipulate, could we stipulate that though, like after reimbursements? Like,
Oh, you'd
instead of
have
just
to.
saying, okay.
You'd have to. You'd have to say it is estimated that after reimbursements, the town will be looking at a net cost of X to X.
Is the number for the redoing the building here the same one we started with, or has it been updated as the number for the projected new school has been updated?
No, I think that was updated with PM&C's most recent estimate.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's the
that
most
went-
recent.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's not the one that you started with at the statement of interest.
The only other thing I would add in thinking about it is that if we build a new building, it is being built to last the next 50 years. It is a 50-year solution, as opposed to you repair this building, you don't solve all the problems,
Yeah.
and where are you going to be in 10 to 15 years?
I only have one more thought. That woman spoke beautifully, and the content was great, and she sounded well. I'm going to put Rich on the spot again because he's probably going to beat me up in the parking lot, but my only thought is, and I'd like to throw it out there, is that Rich is a guy who's been involved in this middle school with basketball for the last 20 years. His own children played. They are now college graduates. He then went back and coached travel teams that can no longer play here because of that existence. I'm not saying anything needs to be added to the video at all, but people are going to recognize Rich Pokin's voice. He's got a distinctive voice, and he's used it a lot. And I'm just wondering if...
No, I think that the goal was, this was just sort of to set up a guide or a model, and then from here we transition to Rich.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because I would, if he's still willing.
Yeah, because we're going to do a bunch of these, so
Yeah,
there's
right.
plenty more
Now,
work.
Yeah.
If we could take the narrations, if it's microphone quality, etc., and I don't know if Rich is willing, but to set some time up with WHCA, if you popped in over there, and sat and went over the narrations, and they recorded, and I'm going to put this gentleman on the spot here. Do you folks have the capability to just record audio?
Yeah, and we can like rent out equipment too. There's a process to do that. So we could just like hand you guys off some equipment, and then you can just give it back to us once you have your recording.
Oh, okay.
We might be able to do it right work at Casey's TV studio too.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm happy to help in any way. I mean, I thought the narration, I thought the video, I thought it painted a good picture. I think all of us are probably going to have different pieces of feedback we'd like to layer in. And that, I think we'd have to figure out more, right, and get a collective list. And then I think to your point, when you started this whole thing, project plan out what the first overarching video are, and then the segments that might make it up to tell the full story.
Exactly. And then the other thing is, how do we get the, and I assume they're calling them the yes group, or for lack of a better name, and the no group if they want, because we have to cater to everybody, but how do we reach out and get those folks more involved? I believe there's a yes group that is formalizing. I haven't heard of any formal no groups. Yes, Brandon?
I did receive word from the yes group. Leela Donovan, I believe, is going to be the person in charge. I think they've registered at the state over the last couple of days.
Okay.
So just a contact, for us to keep in touch there. I don't know of any vote no groups, but I do know that the vote yes group is registered at this point, or should be within the next day or two. And Ms. Donovan has taken the help for that. She couldn't make the meeting today, but wanted to relay the message.
Okay, so what I think we're probably the best way to say it is we want to invite any group to reach out directly to Mr. Bates, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, of course. She was just my PAC president, so she let me know. But yeah,
Sure.
Anything that they need is going to go through Colliers and them for sure.
Right, so I just want to say publicly, anybody, to reach out to him. They can contact me, they can contact any of us as far as obtaining Mr. Bates's number, but from what I've heard, only the yes group are the folks interested in reaching out at this time. So, just to comply with all laws and mandates, so to speak, I just want to say it that way. Yes. I'm sorry, Dawn, did you have a comment?
If I may, I was going to mention, Mr. Farrow, I enjoyed your comment about a voiceover and Rich's recognition in the community, and I think that's a great idea to even build on that and maybe add a few other notable community members maybe on the next video, or I don't know, Rich, you could do them all for sure, but it might draw in more people and, oh yeah, this person, it sort of gives, power in numbers, more voices that are recognizable in future videos. I don't know, just a thought to build on that.
With the will of the committee, I myself look at it to keep it as focused as possible. As far as having the spokesperson, so to speak, and you go forward that way. I'm open to anything as far as that goes.
I agree with you, Mr. Small. Having narrated, 'twas the night before Christmas for my grandchildren. Thankfully, there was a delete repeat button. It took a few attempts for me to get it right. It's not that easy to narrate and have it in sync with the video, so I'm not sure that, although people may be willing, they might not be able. And I know I wouldn't volunteer.
Believe me, I understand. I have 4 hours or 6 hours, whatever it is, of training videos that I supply to my clients, and I put them together at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning when the house was quiet, to get it done. And yeah, there was a lot of retakes. So plus, giving you a history with the building, that's, that to me is, a little bit of added incentive, so to speak. And your start from on the committee itself. A quick 5-second introduction, and then get right into it, because I know, the one thing is we have to worry about the length of these videos. They'll be, distributed to whoever wants them. We'll obviously have them up and, we'll be posting them on our own behalf, but any of the groups that are interested, they're more than welcome to them too. Hopefully we can, really start hitting it hard July, August, well, July, August, a little bit. You have a lot of people away on vacations. Really refine everything. Getting into September and October, I mean, full bore, you know, everything. You know, and then at the end of October, having a party, and then November, having a bigger party.
That's all nice.
You know, it's the best thing we could do, as far as that goes. Anybody else comments on the video? I think they did a wonderful job.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's really good information.
I don't think that we need to try and cut our own video when they can do that. You know, and I almost would like to take the narration, hand it to them first, and let them put the video in line with the narration.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, John, who is coming up with the script?
It's been AI3. Yeah. So every week and a half, they've been pumping out a script.
There's no.
So we've got 3 of them right now.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, they just sent one over, yesterday?
Yes, I don't know.
Kind of doesn't paint, it kind of, if you could just anecdotally say, it kind of doesn't paint a beautiful picture of what our students have gone through in their education.
Yeah.
I'll take some onus for that too, but I mean, that's some tough stuff when you look at it.
And the other thing too is I think we really need to try and convey to, and I'm not going to use the word elder, but the older population.
Sure.
I mean, it's so much different. I guess I am old, but, you know, the educational environment today is so much different than when I was a kid. But this is the same.
Yeah. When you look at those doors and all the openings in the doorways, and then you think about what that brings in, whether it's a draft, whether it's our friends who are small little friends with some short tails who are looking for a place to be safe in the winter, like, because they're all here. Like, you look at that and it's like, ooh. Yeah.
And holding the lockers against the wall when the kids open them, holding
So they
them
don't
in
fall out.
because the whole thing comes off the wall, yeah.
And even
Oh.
just the gang style bathrooms.
The locker markup still here?
It's just not.
Okay.
Kids were here 20 years ago when I was here.
Okay. Because I do want to make mention as well, you know, within the working group, and this was Brandon and Crystal's call. They're the ones that are in this building, you know, as much as anybody, and I felt that, you know, myself, I was relying on their advice. As far as, they went with the tall, slim locker. That would be the best locker for the kids, as opposed to the cubbies or the, you know, smaller square ones. So, you know, we did make progress on that as well, as far as that goes. Anything else about public outreach? I know we're going to meet hopefully within the next few days to a week.
Yeah, we're definitely due for a coordination meeting with the subcommittee. What we're trying to do is kind of ambitious, to do a series of these videos, so there's a lot of coordination involved. I'm glad we've gotten this far.
All right. So let's figure out between your marketing department and ourselves what we need for equipment. We'll coordinate with Rich as to what your schedule is, either to go to the studio or we'll get the equipment on loan from them, not rent, loan. And you know, go from there. You know, we've got 3 scripts right now. We can maybe light a fire under Julie, you know, and get a couple more. You know, once she sends them to us, we do dissect them a little bit, you know, to rough them out. Like the one thing I still want to point out when they talk about electrical, you know, the fact that it looks like World War II era in there, and you can't get parts.
Right.
You're replacing the whole thing. All right, anything else on that? If not, did anyone have an opportunity to read the meeting minutes from May 25th?
23rd?
Hang on. May 23rd. And if so, I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Josh?
Yes.
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, abstain, I wasn't a member of the
Fair enough. You get that, Mr. Bates?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Brandon.
And John.
Don's gone.
I'm gonna abstain too, I wasn't here.
Oh, that's, okay. Jeez. You weren't here 10 minutes ago. You're messing me up. Okay, so 2 abstentions, everyone else was a yes. All right. Next meeting date and scope, and that meeting will be at the high school.
Do we do invoice and bill approval?
Oh, geez. Do I have the wrong?
The one glasses on today.
No, I have the wrong agenda in front of me. Yeah, they added this yesterday, and I printed that up the other day. Invoice and bill approvals, those are all in the drive sent out. If everyone's had an opportunity to look at those, I'd entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Josh?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Brandon?
Yes.
It is unanimous. Next meeting date, scope, and is July 18th. It is at the high school, not here. And Mr. Bates, do you want to go over the scope of that meeting? I know AI3 will be getting a little bit in depth at that point.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have cost estimates in hand by July 18th. So I don't know, I'd have to go back to the minutes to see what they had said we'd be.
I think that we're getting a little more in depth as far as just timelines, tightening things down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely getting to the home stretch, so they'll probably want to go over the design and maybe present the schematic design package to some degree, but we're not going to have cost information at that point, so.
Is anybody going to be attending the July 4th celebration down at the park? Okay, I'll reach out to Recreation and see if I can get just a flyer of some sort, if the committee's okay, of, the project, just a basic, just reminding people that the project's there and to watch for information, etc. As far as that goes, I'll print them up at home, it's no big deal as far as that. And then we should probably prepare for upcoming, for our next meeting, upcoming Parents' Nights.
Yep, August 29th, Tuesday, we'll be at the elementary schools, they'll be there. September, the middle school here is ballpark, September 12th, somewhere around there, but that'll be ready for that also. But the night before elementary schools officially start is their open house. So we've already talked to the principals, Brandon will be available, we'll have a table there. Jeff and I will handle, there's 2 schools, so we'll handle that.
Okay, I'm wondering if we can highlight the boards as far as that goes, and maybe we can put our videos on a loop.
We will have at the elementary schools, what they do, it's more of like a meet and greet with your teacher. It's not a formal presentation. So last year at the Conley School, we were sort of, in an area where all parents traveled, same at the Duval. So we will have whatever it is that we have available, and we'll have handouts or whatever you need.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if we took a couple of the brand new boards
Run it on the loop.
and just had it looped.
Yeah.
You can leave it in the lobby as they're coming in or going out, or, whichever that might be, a way of just garnering some attention as well. And just reminding people that, not only do we need your support, we need you to come vote.
And I just want to be clear, these are not the brand new boards, these have been here for a couple of years. And they're just so we're all on the same page, because it was a capital project for post-July 1st.
Yep, no, understood. Anything else? All right, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Okay, moving in second. Josh?
Yes.
Chris? George?
Yes.
Brandon?
Yes.
I figured I wouldn't forget him that
Good night,
way.
Brandon. Go.
Yes.
Go. Bye, Brandon.
Yes.
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 We're done, 5:09.